twin flame connection is first and foremost an energetic connection. It is one soul, and it is about balancing the feminine and the masculine within you. That means that every time you say, my twin flame is a narcissist, I give and I've done this and that, but they don't want to grow, their ego is in the way, you're not doing the work on the twin flame journey. Especially for the divine feminine or the feminine who has learned to pour all her love into another, self-sacrifice, the act of starting to pull back and pour love into yourself and do what is required of you as the leader in the connection to ascend and to rise is going to feel unnatural. We are not there to rescue the other person, and if indeed you are with a narcissist, or as you know, some people say, my twin flame is a narcissist, well, then you're an enabler and you're just as bad. My twin flame has an ego and I've awakened and I'm without an ego. You are more egotistical than the other that you're pointing your finger to. And you're making it about the other person. You're not in union because of what they're doing. That's an illusion of your mind. Leave them alone. Leave the narcissist alone. Leave the egotist alone and go and do your own work on yourself. And see what comes up for you when you stop enabling bad behavior. Because the twin flame, we're talking about spiritual connections here. We're talking about a spiritual awakening. If you're truly on a twin flame journey, that is what's happening for you. It is therefore not black and white. It is not this or that. We are multidimensional beings, and things are dynamic. So there may be parts of us that are quite aligned and may already be in union with our twin, and other parts that are completely misaligned. So when we cut, we're not cutting necessarily a person, we are cutting an energetic pattern. So I hear a lot of women say, I am sick and tired of being with someone or being open to a relationship where I'm constantly dishonored, devalued, and disrespected. So cut that pattern. Don't allow that anymore. Stop being an enabler of allowing yourself of being disrespected or dishonored. And it is not about the other person. The other person is mirroring back to you your own lack of self-worth. So see what that is for you and put boundaries in place. It doesn't mean that all these other parts need to be cut off, but that is a pattern, and it is a karmic pattern. It's an energetic imprint that it's time to break. Your job is not to balance their ego. Your job is not to help them understand anything. That is the peak of arrogance. Why? Because they have exactly what you have, a direct connection back to source through the one soul. You don't need to do any of that. You're not balancing their ego. Your twin flame is inside of you, and you're balancing your relationship with your inner polarities, your inner masculine and your inner feminine. If you've met a person who you believe is your twin flame, they will mirror, say thank you higher power, for showing me a person that is mirroring back the deepest aspect of my core wounding and what I need to balance within me. It's not about helping their ego or balancing their ego or helping them to see anything. If that's that's the trap that you're in, I suggest you quickly get yourself out of it by going back to yourself. And when you do that, go back to yourself, it will feel confusing if you're not used to that behavior, because you've learned that giving and self-sacrificing is the ultimate act of love. So there's a retraining happening, there's a recalibration, there's a collapse of the old. You may have to sit with guilt, you may have to sit with anger, with hurt, with confusion. That is your job. Or you can keep on being the enabler and then complaining about how your twin flame is a narcissist, but you're just looping around in a circle. Finally, and this is going to be very hard to see, your twin flame is not doing anything to you. Once you peel away all the illusions and delusions, your twin flame is not doing anything to you. They don't owe you anything. Everything is coming from the Creator. Everything is coming from the upper light for you to reform, for your ego to dismantle, your personality, personal reality as you've known it to be, because you are ascending into a new understanding of who you are, what you came here to do, and what your life is about, what love is about, unconditional love. Because some people think unconditional love is keep giving and keep sacrificing until I'm absolutely spent by this narcissist. That's not unconditional love. Not even close. Understand, every time a trigger comes up for you, every time you're sitting with hurt, with pain, with anger, with disappointment, it's not your twin flame that's doing it to you. The Creator is not an enabler that wants you to stay stuck looping in those things. So that retraction, the same way that we do for the other, that we feel is not an act of love, that is selfish, is actually selfless. But everything is upside down in this 3D world. It doesn't reflect the upper light, so we're not quite there yet in our understanding of how it works. You either have faith and trust that the pain you're experiencing, all the wounds that are coming up for you, are not caused by the other person. They're all coming from the upper light to reform you, to get you out of this stuck, attached, dense energy that you and we collectively have been cycling on for eons, because it is time for you to rise, because the Creator is calling you home into the truth of who you are as a child of the Most High, loved beyond measure, light, pure, indestructible. These are just all shells. We're just removing, we're peeling away, plucking all of this away to get there. That is what the twin flame journey is about. It's not about the other person. As long as you keep making it about the other person, you'll keep looping. I know how hard it is to hear this. Trust me, I do. We're in this together. It is happening for us at this time for a very divine purpose. There is a lot more happening beneath the surface of what our eyes can see and our minds can comprehend. So choose to walk that path, taking full responsibility, full ownership, and making it about you and your Creator, not attaching to another person. God bless.